Hello, and welcome to the Mild and Lazy Guys podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
What does this take? 5 or 6?
At
2
least.
hours later?
I've been here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, 2 and a quarter. We've had major difficulties. I think my computer that we record on, or used to record, is on its last legs. I think it's like 8 years old at this point, almost 9. So I got my money's worth. But it's a Mac. I mean, that's the only That's the only thing. Mac. And after being in IT, Macs suck, dude. I hate them.
Really? It's just like name recognition?
Yeah, I hate them. I hate working on them. I hate them.
Maybe you can steal an old one from work. An old something else.
Yeah. We do recycle, so like they'll get rid of shit and we bring it back and we recycle it responsibly. And you can just pretty much take whatever you want.
Sweet.
So maybe I'll grab a Windows laptop.
Problem solved.
Hey, did you know there was like a ribs only restaurant?
I did. You told me that last time we tried to record.
See, you're not supposed to fucking say that. You're supposed to act like we hadn't fucking talked about this.
What? This is new to me. Tell me about it.
No, you tell me. You tell me what's going on.
Well,
with you.
I bet it was like a Mother's Day thing because Lauren probably likes ribs, and I bet it's like a sister restaurant to someone else that won like an award. I'd love to hear about it though. I mean,
it's ribs only.
The people would like to know.
It's ribs only. It's called Ribbies. RIBEES. Yeah, no, it was really good. Ribs are my favorite type of barbecue, or I guess meat. That or brisket. So,
yeah, I think I'd go brisket over ribs, but it's a tough call.
You tell me ribs, like there's a ribs only joint, I'm there. But they were really cool. They had come out at some point and asked us how everything was going. We were like, oh, it's good. And he asked us where we're from. I was like, oh, we came over from Waxahachie. He's like, oh, wow. Appreciate you coming out. And then we wanted a sticker at the end because it had like a really cool like pig logo with like, I don't know, looked like sauce dripping off of it. It was cool.
Vegans hate this place.
Yeah, they do. They really would. So we went up to get a sticker, and he's like, hey, what size shirt do you wear? I was like, I told him. He's like, here's a shirt for you. Here's a shirt for the whole family. Here's stickers. Here's a hat. He's like, thanks, for driving all this way to come see
awesome.
us. So that is my ringtone for our group chat with Alex. It's a fart.
Oh, I thought it was something to do with the rib restaurant still. I didn't hear the fart.
No, I got all that out, a while back. But yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to mute my phone. I'm not trying to do this.
Unprofessional, man. We had 7 tries to get this right, and this fool's phone's on.
Yeah, sorry. How dare me.
So that was a good Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Got some ribs.
So they have like 7, that's all they do, obviously, is, like I said, is ribs. It's ribs, fries, coleslaw, and a roll, and a drink for $20.
And you replaced the coleslaw with?
Extra fries, because I'm not a disgusting weirdo. But yeah, so they have like dry rub, like they're just like traditional like dry ribs. They have a sauced rib in their like signature barbecue sauce. They have like a hot honey, a couple other things, but they were running like another. I said ribs only, and I'm about to tell you something other than ribs on their menu. They had lemon pepper chicken quarters that they were doing, I guess, for like on special. So those sounded interesting, but I was there for fucking ribs.
Yeah, you don't go to a place called Ribbies and get chicken.
Yeah, but it was really good. I highly recommend it. It's like off 35W, and I want to say Seminary. I don't know.
I don't know any of those.
35W out that way. But and then we went to Sam's or Costco, or I think Costco did.
Last time it was Sam's.
Sam's. Then I'll go to Costco because I was probably wrong then. Went to Costco. Did our grocery haul for the week. And then I got a glizzy at the end.
Of course, that's why you go to Costco.
Fucking glizzies, dude.
I had a glizzy today. I meant to take a picture, and I was going to send it to you and say, like, I'm preparing for tonight. Because when I went to my parents because Claire had a yoga class and then a yoga teacher's, like, meeting that was, like, took about 4 hours.
You see how right there I didn't say, oh, I heard that. No.
Yeah, well, it's news to the listener, okay? So you gotta kayfabe it a little bit sometimes. So I went there, replaced the brakes, ate a couple glizzies, and then came back. Elizabeth stayed there, which you know all this already. What am I talking about?
The listeners don't.
Left Elizabeth there because my niece was on her way over, And Claire and I started working on that third room finally, clearing it out. And it's one of those things when you finally do it and you're like, why didn't we do this earlier?
Yeah.
Like, we have a whole nother room that we've abandoned and let the cats just, well, really, it's one cat, Sonny, just goes in there and, like, pees wherever he wants.
Fucking asshole.
So we ended up throwing a lot of stuff away. We had a lot of stuff already bagged, like clothes, so we just put it in new bags. Because, it was sealed up, and I'm like, if anything,
Are those like clothes y'all want to wear? Or is that
no,
like
they were
donation?
They were donation. So I'm saying, like, the clothes were clean, trust me. So we just rebagged them, and I have a few days off this week, so we're gonna load up the van, take it up to whatever donation place, and take the rest.
You heard it here first. Andrew hates the needy. He gives them cat piss clothes.
Well, at least they're closed. And I told that to Claire, and she goes, "They're gonna wash it." And I said, "Okay, you're right."
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not, but I believed her.
I think I want because
I would like to think they wash it.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. There's people like I like to think I donate decent things, right? Like it's not just like oil stained shirts because I'm some greasy hunk of a man out here working. I was gonna say too. I should say when I change those brakes, that's one of the few things I can do on a car. So,
makes you feel good.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It's like, you know what, Dad, I got this. Let me get this jack under here and I'll take these off. So that was one of the few things I could do. So I accomplished that, and yeah, we just had like a good productive day. Sundays, just for chilling. I don't plan on doing much Sunday.
See, we were talking about that earlier, and I told you I wanted to sit around because on one of the takes I talked about how busy I'd been the last 2 Saturdays, and like tying into feeling like a man. I bought a chainsaw and cleared out a bunch of stuff that needed to be cleared out and in the backyard. And but yeah, you were like, oh, that's what Sundays are for. No, because Sunday is like the only day that me and Lauren are off together all day. So that's like family day. Like we want to go. She wants to go run around and do this or do that, and it's fine. Like it's cool. But Sunday's definitely now. Football season's a little different. She knows. She gets a bye week, and then on a Monday or Thursday games, my Sunday is available. But most Sundays when Cowboys are playing, she's cool enough to like not schedule anything or make me go do anything.
Yeah. Claire's the same way. She learned the hard way. It's like, I kind of have to watch these.
And she benefits because I usually cook something, I'll throw something on the grill or, we'll cook. So it's a semi-family day because we'll do the eating and hanging out part. But once the game's on, she's like, no, I hate this.
Well, that's why Cowboys playing Sunday night's always my favorite. Like, they get 1 or 2 of those a year, and we get to do stuff all day Sunday. Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, 7 o'clock starts. We already ate dinner. Kids are getting ready for bed. I'm going to move this lazy boy chair to the front of the TV, and I'm going to sit here and watch the game. I've always loved just Sunday night football. Has always been my favorite, and it's not because of Chris Collinsworth, I should say. It's just the fact that you get to have like all day to be with whoever you want to be with, do what you want to do, and then you get to watch the primetime game.
Yeah, we'll touch on the Cowboys schedule. We'll do kind of go game by game and give the records.
I did see something on that they said like for the first time since like 2006, I think the Cowboys-Eagles game's not going to be in prime time for either one.
Oh, wow.
So, like you said, we'll talk about that more. But
our home opener is a noon game. When was the last time that fucking happened?
Yeah, man. We're
America's team. We're falling off.
Don't they know we went all in this year? Duh.
Shout out Zeke. He'll be busy week 1, but we'll talk about that. All right, what do you want to get into?
First thing I have on here, I guess Hill to Die On.
Okay, Hill to Die On. Actually, I have one this week.
Go for it.
So there was a restaurant that had just opened up somewhere. I was reading maybe a Facebook article or a Twitter tweet. Mm-hmm. My hill to die on is I'm not waiting in a long line for food. Like, I don't care how good the food is. And I love good food. I'm obviously looking at me. I like good food, but I'm not going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Like, there's a barbecue place. Speaking of barbecue, there's a place called Snow's, and they have a pitmaster named Tootsie, and she's like 87 years old. She's still tending the pits. It's like a kind of like a mecca trip for like people who love barbecue.
Where's this at?
I forget the name of the town, but it's kind of
it's not here.
But yeah, people get there and they're open like 2 days a week. Like,
well, that's how Leon's was. When me and Claire lived in the lofts before Pops got there.
Yeah,
there was a place called Leon's.
Yeah, I know.
And they would open up and they'd be like, "Look, we're going to be open from 10 until we sell out." You know,
yeah.
And we don't have set hours. It's like whenever we're done selling all this meat for the day, we close up.
It's in Lexington, Texas.
I think it's Kentucky.
No, Lexington, Texas. But yeah, like people get there and it's kind of outside of Austin, like east-ish of Austin. But anyway,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm not waiting.
Like I'm not. People get there like 4 a.m.
Now, if
3 a.m. start lining up.
If we have like a ticket system, if I could give you my phone number and take a ticket, and you call me in 2 hours, I'll show back up.
Dude, we do that for Roadhouse, and I don't know why people don't use it. Like we'll get there. Like we'll look on the app. It'll say hour and a half wait time per the usual at Roadhouse because it's amazing. So we'll go ahead and get on the list, and we'll get ready. And then by the time we get ready and we go over to make it over to Mansfield, like it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah,
and
that's the way to do it.
And then we text them and say we're here when I'm like exiting the exit. By the time I'm pulling into the parking lot, we get the text saying, "Okay, come in, your table's ready." And then I pass all these people waiting for a table like a fucking schmuck.
Been there for an
hour.
Like,
what are y'all doing?
You're just living in the future, man.
No, that's just.
Well, they probably don't know about what you're doing. Is what I'm saying.
How do you not know? I don't feel sorry for you.
Well, they're not IT whizzes like you.
It's not has nothing to do with IT. It has nothing to do with IT. Nothing to do with it.
And then when you're done eating at a Texas Roadhouse, there's a Salvation Army right there.
Yeah,
which we always go to.
And I guess I need to put you on to it, but there's this. I forget the name of it, and I'll look it up. But there's a little mom and pop ice cream parlor.
Oh, yeah.
In Mansfield there, and they always have like obviously they have traditional flavors, but then they have like some just crazy off the wall like peanut butter marshmallow fluffernutter.
They just got some pothead back there, just like burning one and he's coming up with these ideas, like living his best life.
And it's all homemade ice cream, and it's really in this mom and pop. It's really
There's
good.
a place by. I like how we're just talking. We're going to hijack this for food now. There's a place by where the old Family Video was.
Yeah,
Marco's Georgie Boys.
Georgie Boys, yeah,
and they make it in the house too of ice cream. But man, we went there and got like 2 cones in a cup. It was like $18. Ooh. So I'm like, yeah, this is a special occasion. Like
I can go to Brahms and get a double dip for $1.89.
I can get some froyo for $2 here.
Yeah, dude,
which is actually pretty good.
Dude,
one other thing I was going to mention about food is my sister told me, and then Claire confirmed, there's a Jersey Mike's coming, but it's in Red Oak. And I was like, well, it might save you a little bit of time because it's, in Red Oak where like Ovilla gets close enough to 35.
Yeah.
There's a ton of just places to eat there. I think it's going to be there. So I'm like, just take 35 and exit.
Yeah, well, you got to go to Red Oak.
Come on, man. You don't have Hot Brad still?
Nope.
I do.
Nope.
06.
I go there every 3 weeks. I get my hair cut there, but it's in downtown.
I haven't been.
So I just barely have to go in. It's like the dark. It's like in Lion King, like the place where the light doesn't touch.
Yeah, that's where the kingdom ends.
I don't. People are getting shot over there in Red Oak. Like there was a murder. Like Sunflower Lane over there, like kind of by the down from like the old Sonic, that neighborhood. Not the old Sonic. I guess the only Sonic that was there. There was like a dude that was murdered in his house, like shot in his house like 2 weeks ago.
Damn,
that shit never happened.
Well, I grew up in a nice little neighborhood that was secluded all by itself.
Your neighborhood gives me a PTSD because we used to have to run it.
Really?
Yeah, Bighorn.
Yeah,
you grew up in Bighorn. Yeah, when we got in, that was like our normal run for soccer.
That was like Peter's Path, but high school edition.
Yeah. So that was our normal. Like,
what did you go down like those 3 Josie, those streets that ran parallel into our neighborhood, or how'd you get there? Did you get there from Bell's Chapel?
Yeah, from Shawnee to Bell's Chapel.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and then that was the turnaround.
Yeah, so we made the loop.
God damn, dude.
And then went back.
See, I had to make that walk home when I'd get like detention, and I'd missed the bus, and I couldn't get if my parents weren't offset.
Dude,
I'd have to walk home from there.
That was like our normal kind of like run, and if we were in trouble, we had to go down to Tecumseh. We'd have to run Tecumseh.
That's like twice as far.
Yeah.
That's a bigger neighborhood too. It's a huge lap.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been such a bad boy.
No, that was our training.
Just conditioning?
That was conditioning.
Wow.
That was like what we did.
I hate state champions, dog.
Yeah.
Paid off. Hard work paid off.
Midlothian won this year. FYI.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about that.
And it was our coach that took us to our championship.
What a
Coach Guest. I don't know if you had. You might have had him in school. He was an English teacher.
So.
Anyway, yeah, he left my senior year. After my senior year,
He's like, I reached
went
the
to
pinnacle.
Midlothian.
They just give him a bag.
Oh, yeah, I think he got a bag. You know,
Good for him. Can't be mad at that.
As big a bag as you can get for a Texas high school soccer coach. I'm sure he got a pretty good little.
He probably went out and got like a nice Volkswagen.
Nice Volkswagen.
A very like economy friendly car.
Maybe like a fully loaded Nissan
Dude.
or Infiniti.
Okay, Infinity's nice. You kidding me? I'll take an Infinity.
Yeah, Infinities are.
I'm driving a 21-year-old van out here.
I want your van when you sell it.
Dude, I'm never selling that thing.
If you sell it,
I told Claire I had a dream the other day that I sold it and I had the most buyer's regret, and like I was like trying to like frantically like call the guy back to buy. Like I changed my mind. Let me buy it back from you. No, that thing's gonna run forever. It's the best vehicle I've ever had. Like I put 30,000 miles on it in the last 16 months. Well, 18. It's been about a year and a half. No problems.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx anything, but
Hondas are great.
Yeah. And Claire's got her Honda. I mean, we're total Honda gang.
Y'all can't see that, but we did a.
I'm glad they can't see that. Claire cringes every time I do that. All right. I got a couple hills to die on. It's 7-Eleven, especially the one by your house. Best blueberry donuts in the world. I don't know where they get them from, but me being a fat kid, and Ellie being my junior fat kid, we love blueberry donuts. So every Saturday now, we'll go and get multiple, right? Wipe them out. Whatever they got in the rack, we'll get that. And then I get a large coffee. She gets a small coffee. She doesn't drink it. She just likes to make the coffee. So I just eat those $2 that, we waste her coffee on. But she thinks she likes French vanilla and extra sugar and all this. So I let her load it up. Ugh. Yeah. But, it's just something we've been doing. And, dude, they're just so good. I'm not a big donut fan, but I do love blueberry donuts. And I've come to the realization that they're the best. This is a random thing I came up with, but you know the show PTI, Pardon the Interruption?
Yeah.
PTI is the greatest sports show of all time. And then its offshoot Around the Horn, 92nd best.
Tony Reale, shout out.
Yeah. Oh, it's probably because Ryan said something about made that comment about friends being in an argument in a group text, and he feels like Tony Reale going by giving people points for each one. And I don't know. I grew up with PTI. Like I used to get home from school, and it was either on at 4 or 4:30.
I was about to say it's been on for over 20 years.
It's been on. I think it premiered. I've looked it up before. Like the week before 9/11.
Oh wow!
So it was like first week of September 2001. So I mean, I was 14, or I was about to turn 14 because I was 87. So I was about to turn 14, and I just grew. That was like the first show that I would watch where I was like, these guys know what they're talking about. They're not just hitting on the main topics. They'll cover 20 different things, and they'll know what they're talking about for everyone. So I just grew up like loving both those.
I remember watching that and like, you can see the rundown. What they're going to get to.
And you know what's coming up,
and being excited when they talked about soccer.
Yeah, like that was cool too.
I remember when the U.S. made the deep run in the 2002 World Cup. They gave them, they talked about it on PTI, and that was a big deal for soccer back then because they were just fighting for relevancy, But yeah, no, PTI and Around the Horn.
Yeah, and then I was going to say Tony Reale got his start on PTI, and then eventually he got his own show, Around the Horn, and with that you'd have like 5 journalists or 4 journalists, sports journalists from around the country that were doing the same thing, like giving their in-depth. Yeah, Kalishaw would be on there, and then
Woody Page.
I'm thinking of the black dude that was with us and then moved to Seattle.
Blackstone.
Blackstone. I should have known that. And like all these guys are just like the top of their game and just give you like great insight. So anyways, I just grew up with those shows, and then I piggybacked off of that and I said the TNT NBA, Inside the NBA, that's the greatest pregame or postgame like unit of all time. Yeah. Like with Charles, I love Charles Barkley so much. He's he's probably my favorite person that I could ever meet.
I'm still kind of hurt that he's fucking shitting on Galveston.
He's speaking the truth though.
I love Galveston.
I don't
get in the water, but
yeah, I would say we're going there in like 2 weeks. We're going back to the same place we went to like 2 years ago. Literally the same house with the same people. And I'm like, don't y'all want to do something different? We can go somewhere else. My family's very consistent about going. Like, oh, we had a good time. We should do that again.
Yeah.
Or we should try something else and do something completely different. I mean, I'm the black sheep of the family, so nobody listens to me.
I mean, if it's broke, don't fix it, I guess.
All right, last one, because I just recently watched this movie and I really liked it. What Top Gun, that's not the movie I watched. You got to finish. What Top Gun did for the Air Force, Smokey and the Bandit did for the trucking industry and for CB radios. So, when Top Gun came out, they said recruitment to the Air Force, like, skyrocketed. Like, pun intended, like everyone wanted to be in the Air Force because they made it look cool. And then I'm watching Smokey and the Bandit, and that's when CB radios were the first introduced, and that whole movie is basically a promotional video
Right.
for CB radios and making trucking look cool, like picking up chicks and breaking the law and outrunning the
Fucking
the
big
Smokies.
CB. You know.
And I'm like, dude, I bet CB sales just went through the roof on this.
Probably. I don't know. That's good. I like that. Going back to the TNT broadcast, the NBA.
How did you not have this ready?
I don't know. I'm fucking lost.
Going back to TNT.
Broadcasting. Fox. Cowboys.
You're connecting the dots now.
I'm taking.
You're watching Matt's brain work.
Yeah.
Right now.
Going back and we'll cover the NFL schedule and we'll do breakdown and schedule prediction. They're opening at Cleveland 3:25, and that's going to be Tom Brady's first game. And I don't like it because I really like Greg Olson, and I think he's getting fucking shafted.
He is. That's what I think we talked about this before. Greg Olson proved himself to be a top tier commentator, and people liked him. And then they just said, "Well, we have more name recognition with Brady. Let's bring Brady in," without giving him. I mean, I guess he did a trial run, and obviously he's going to be good.
Right.
But to take a guy off that was a shooting star in the industry. So is he still with Fox, or did he get let go?
No, I think he's
just
he's on the
team 2 or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
that's like what Moose used to be. And is he still doing it?
I don't know.
I bet he's probably just
he's probably doing fucking
UFL
noon games in fucking Atlanta or some shit. But yeah, no, I just wanted to touch on that. That I thought Olsen's getting fucked on that deal.
He is. He grew on me throughout the year, and I was like,
I always liked him. I thought he was really good. So I don't know. I didn't know where to fit this. So I'm just going to come out with it. I was watching. I forget what I was watching, but it was like a scene where it was like a chase scene, and somebody's like chasing after like a bad guy, and they're just like shooting their gun, and I'm like, do they not? I know you can't because it's the movies and whatever, but bullets go. If you miss the guy, they go and they're gonna hit something. Do people watching movies do they realize that? Just everyday common. Do they realize?
So many strays, so many dead people.
Yeah,
everywhere in every major city. Like the movie Bad Boys. There's a new one coming out. They probably killed 37 people.
Yeah,
that they don't know about in those movies.
That's why they say don't fire guns off at New Year's.
Yeah, that bullet's going to reach a trajectory where it's reached its pinnacle, and then it's going to come down
with equal
or greater force, probably because it's going down.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to it's going to go completely through your body and get embedded in the soil somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't. That's just a random thought.
You were just watching a movie, and these poor people.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
somebody just died
just
right now.
Sent 60 rounds into somewhere. They're gonna fucking go somewhere.
Take out a whole family.
And then I saw a news story about they had a camera, I guess, in their house in the living room. That 9-year-old fucking survived that drive-by in Fort Worth. You could see the bullets just
whiz right by him,
coming through the window, by him. He's just trying to get as small as he can on the couch. It's fucking wild.
Shit, I was involved in a drive-by when Dakota and them lived on Illinois. In Dallas, there was a house party going on late at night, and it was only Dakota, Claire, and I were still up. And I mean, it was 3 a.m, so we should have already been asleep. Next thing you know, you just hear this semi-automatic fire just spraying across everywhere, and we just jumped behind the couch. Eventually, got up, turned the lights off, and we're like, "I'm fucking done drinking tonight, dude. We're going to sleep right now."
And you're probably fucking
and then next thing you know,
too.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, cop lights everywhere, and everyone just scattered. They're not coming to ask us questions. This house smells like a pound. Let's just turn off the lights and we're going to sleep.
Yep. We didn't see shit.
Nope. I don't know what's going on. I'm asleep right now.
All right. What do you want to do next?
I got some questions.
I have questions too.
What you got?
You want me to go? Okay.
Go for it.
So, like I said, I've got a bunch, and I've got to do my best not to shoot my whole load here.
Yeah.
So I can, that's what she said.
She doesn't want to blow her load.
Okay. So would you rather be the absolute best at something that no one takes seriously, or be average at something but well respected?
I think I'd rather be average and well respected because that sounds like I'd make money.
I would see. I'd want to be the absolute best at something,
but get no recognition.
Yeah, even if nobody takes it seriously or nobody knows about it.
So you're like
but the people that are into it would know that I'm the best, and like I'm,
So people who listen to this podcast,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like the 6 people, like those guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. All right, you give me one.
All right. Would you rather have to refer to your wife and kids as bitch or as your boss by daddy?
Ugh. I'd rather my wife and kids as bitch.
Like if you're in the store, be like, "Hey, bitch, pass that butter."
Yeah.
Like you're at a restaurant, "Hey, bitch, I need the ketchup," and they're like, "This guy is terrible."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not calling. Ugh.
You don't want to call your boss daddy?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, that's
not
fair.
even. No, 1,000%. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap than do that.
What a gross image! Where did you pull that from? I've never heard that saying before.
I'd rather shit in my hands and clap than.
Well, I agree,
daddy.
especially if your guy's an asshole guy. Like for me, I have like a 7-year-old black woman right now as my boss. She'll be gone soon. So it would just be more like a joke if I was calling her daddy. It'd be more like probably get actually in trouble.
Yeah. HR would be involved for sure. Would you rather always have wet socks or a small rock in your shoe?
Small rock. I've had wet socks when I've had to work for like 6 straight hours.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the pebble in the shoe.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, I got one for you.
Uh-huh.
Would you rather have small dick, right? It's a small dick as your nose, or ball sacks for ears?
Ball sacks for ears.
Yeah, I think so. That's what Claire said. She said, I'll just grow my hair out and cover it. I said, no, it got to be visible. And we're not talking like, you're not hanging dong, right? You're not like...
It's not like Gonzo.
Yeah, you can't like reach down and like lick it with your tongue. It's just like a little Hitler dick.
Ugh.
It's a nice, it's a little micro penis like Hitler's.
All right, I have 2. I need to save them. Okay.
I just blow my load every time.
Last one.
Okay.
Would you rather be hunted by a serial killer or by police for a crime you didn't commit?
I guess serial killer because there's less of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think numbers.
I think you're.
Do I have like a time frame? Like no. I got to go like a week, or it's just eventually they're going to get me?
Eventually they're going to get you. Jail or dead.
I'd rather die, dude. I'm not going to jail. These cheeks are too sweet. I get passed around so quick.
Right, I'm going to blow my. I have more, but I'm going to say this last one. Would you rather buy all used underwear or all used toothbrushes?
That's a good one. I'll buy all used underwear because most of the time I don't wear underwear.
I said underwear because I can
wash them so many times.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Toothbrush, I don't think it would ever get clean enough.
I think if I grabbed Claire's toothbrush in the morning in front of her, she would look at me like I'm disgusting.
Right.
We've been together for like 17 years, and she'd still look at me like I'm we're not that tight yet.
Yeah, I do.
Even though we have 2 children,
I do that with Lauren. Like
just to test her.
No, she'll use mine, and I won't say anything because I can't say anything. But I'm like, why? You have one right there. Why use mine? Why?
I got 2. I think I got 2 or 3 more.
All right.
All right. Life's on the line. Would you rather have to score a bucket against Prime MJ or try to land a punch against Floyd Mayweather?
No, give me MJ.
You're gonna score on MJ?
Yeah, because nobody hits Mayweather.
Yeah,
he's known for his.
Well, I was gonna say that, or you gotta go around with Tyson, but like no one's gonna fucking fight Tyson in his prime. He's gonna murder us.
He's gonna murder Jake Paul.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Did you see that press conference?
It was cringy. He's trying to act all tough and cool.
He called us all hillbillies and told us to go.
Yeah, I was like,
you're in fucking Dallas.
Yeah, this is very yuppie territory. And he's from fucking Cleveland. I said, imagine talking shit about another city when you're from Cleveland, Ohio.
You know how bad Cleveland sucks? Their fucking river caught on fire. A body of water caught on fire. That's how shitty that place is.
That's so toxic, man.
They do have a cool stadium, though. Shout out Brandon. He's got family up there, and we went up there to visit him. Actually, we road tripped up there with me, him, and Jarrett Miller. And we went to see Steelers
Cleveland
in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. And there was a bunch of shirts. And it said, Pittsburgh sucks and Roethlisberger swallows. I was like, holy shit.
See, I would have never thought that the Browns have a legit stadium like that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's downtown, open air. Like, it's really cool.
Stadiums like that. That's why I love the AAC. That's how it should be. It should be in the heart of the city.
Dude, you can't fucking see it anymore. Remember back in the day, like if you were 35, like going through Dallas, you could see it. You can't see it anymore. It's like covered up by buildings all around it. You can't. It kind of sucks.
Are the Stars going to get their own facility?
I don't know.
Thought I heard that.
That'd be cool. The Cotton Bowl is going to be in use again. The
female soccer team.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
it's a cool stadium. I love that place.
No, I love it.
I finally got to go, and we went to the Winter Classic on January 1st, 2020, and that was the pinnacle of that whole year. Everything else literally was
for sure
just worse than after day one for that year.
No.
All right. Okay, if you're a talented musician, would you rather be a master of one or a jack of all trades?
Master of one.
What's your one?
Drums.
See, I said drums or piano. I thought if I could play any instrument, I'd like to do that. Claire was a guitar. Specifically an acoustic guitar. I said, okay, you're such a girl. She's like, I just play soft acoustic music. I said, well, you're not in my fucking band.
Yeah, I think drums. I think drummers are insanely cool.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that because me and Lauren were talking and I was making her listen to some of my music and I was like, have you ever heard those stories like people like fucking having like TBI or like having a brain injury and they like recover with like a fucking talent that they didn't have or can speak a language.
Yeah.
I was like, if that happened to me, my one talent I would wish for is to be able to play the drums.
That'd be so cool.
Dude, I want to play the drums.
You're speaking like Ukrainian and you're like the world's best drummer.
Right.
You're like a whole new man.
Yeah, like it's crazy because all four appendages have to be like, they have to be moving at different speeds, hitting different instruments all at different times.
It's
like
next level brain use. Like I've tried to play and I can't.
It's unreal. Like, and I know we're running late because we had 6 fucking starts and restarts and all that trouble, but I want to show you this. This dude I think is the best drummer in the world right now. He's insane.
Is that the guy that can play like Dragon Force with one hand?
Yeah.
I've seen a video and he was holding up an iPad showing the clock because he thought people were speeding it up. So he's holding it in one hand and playing, which I told Claire's like, she doesn't know who Dragon Force is, but it's like those guys are insanely fast and technical.
Yeah.
Like it's like playing animals as leaders and Dragon Force is like you can't replicate that, and just bullshit your way through it.
Yeah. And like he'll fucking play other hard shit like Slipknot. He'll play a Slipknot song, which is, their drummers I think he either passed or he's not in the band anymore. I'm not sure. I think it's Jory Jordanson or something like that. But anyway, he'll be like smoking a joint, playing like a Slipknot song one handed.
That's insane,
dude. He's so good. But yeah, I think drummer drums would be
2 more. All vegetable or all fruit diet for a week.
Veggie.
See, I said that, but then Claire made a point and I can't remember. She's like,
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I tune out when she tries to talk to me. But I chose vegetables too, but I was like, you got to steam them though, right? You got to be able to cook them properly.
Yeah.
She's like, you eating it raw? Because at that point, it's a fruit diet.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I can cook them, give me veggies because I can do like a cauliflower, quote unquote, cauliflower steak, or I can cook like a big old like mushroom steak or something and like maybe have it mimic meat a little bit. But
that Impossible meat, is that what they make it out of?
Like, I don't know. I don't think that's
plant-based, isn't it?
Yeah, it's plant-based for sure, but I don't know. It doesn't. I don't trust that. Yeah, I like my veggies well enough. Are your kids veggie kids?
Not at all. They're chicken nuggets kids.
Landry was like that too, but
and ramen noodles.
But since he'll eat Brussels sprouts, broccoli, asparagus.
I love broccoli, dude. The way Claire cooks it, we had some broccoli and chicken tonight with cauliflower. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Last one. Would you rather have $15,000, 1-5, or the Cowboys win back-to-back Super Bowls?
Fuck. Give me $15K because I could use it.
See, I'm stupid.
What's another 20 years?
I know. I'm selfish, or I'm stupid, and I said let the Cowboys win back-to-back. Championships are forever.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just going to waste that money on.
I'll just pay bills with that money.
Burger. All right, that was all my questions, man.
That's all your questions?
That's it.
All right, let's get into
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Yeah, that sounds good. All right. So, what's our Mount Rushmore?
Unsolved mysteries, because we're on that kind of
mysteries.
We're that next time. Maybe we can do conspiracy theories.
Yeah. See, all that's my.
I was like, I don't know why we haven't done this before. We've been doing this shit for like 5 years, and we're finally getting into stuff that we actually like a lot.
Okay. So my first one?
Yeah.
Malaysia, Flight 370.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So I know you've got some good stats on it. Give me a breakdown of what happened.
I just took a screenshot of it somewhere. Hold on. All 227 passengers and 12 crew members aboard presumed dead. The disappearance of Flight 370 was the deadliest incident involving a Boeing 777, the deadliest of 2014, and the deadliest in Malaysian Airlines history, until it was surpassed in all three regards by Malaysian Airlines Flight 17, which was shot down while flying over Ukraine 4 months later. People, don't get on airplanes. This is crazy. The search of the missing airplane became the most expensive search in the history of aviation. It focused initially on the South China Sea and Andaman Sea. And we still don't know what fucking happened. That thing just disappeared like aliens just zapped it out of the sky.
It's gone.
It's gone, dude. And like, what do you tell the families? Like, hey, we were watching them on a radar, and then we don't know what happened. Like, a whole fucking plane with almost 240 people is gone now. That's crazy.
Yep. So I knew we'd have some overlap here.
All right, let me mark that off.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good one, though. I got Roanoke Island. That's on July 22nd, 1587, a long time ago. John White arrived on Roanoke Island with another 120 people along with him. A few months later, he sailed back to England, hoping to restock on badly needed supplies. But when he finally returned 3 years later, every last resident had vanished. The only clue to their potential whereabouts, the mysterious word Croatan, carved into the palisade, and another CRO carved on a tree. White assumed the residents had traveled to Croatan Island, which is now called something else. But a storm blew in and prevented White from reaching the island, and he never raised enough money to go for the search again. Some documents suggest Chief Powhatan killed some of the colonists, but there is no archaeological evidence to back that up. Other theories propose the residents were attacked by the Spanish, and the colonists simply died of natural causes. Whether the case, the fate of the colonists is the biggest unsolved mystery in American history. That's a quote from William Kelso. I don't know who that is. Oh, there you go. He's a director of archaeology and researcher at the Jamestown Rediscovery Foundation. So, yeah, dude, the whole fucking colony just up and left, and we never know what happened to them.
Crazy. Yeah, I was reading about that earlier this week when I was putting mine together. Fucking nuts. All right, so I'm gonna go really quickly on this one because there's just not a whole lot to say, and I think it could cross over into the conspiracy theory one, but it's JFK.
Yeah.
I have my idea of who I think did it. I think it was the mafia. I think JFK said he was coming after the mafias.
That was RFK.
Or RFK, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the Attorney General, his brother was cracking down on him.
Yeah, he was coming down on him, and I think Marilyn Monroe had a role to play because her and JFK were fucking. She was also fucking a dude in I forget which family, but one of the mafiosos.
Families, yeah.
Yep. So she was fucking him too. Yeah, it's just, and obviously it happened here in Dallas, so that one's always been.
Well, to piggyback off that, I think it was Alan Dulles that organized it all. He's a former director of the CIA.
Yep.
And after the Bay of Pigs,
yep.
JFK was very embarrassed by it and said he was going to splinter the CIA into 1,000 little pieces.
Yep.
And then he fired Alan Dulles, but Alan Dulles still had. He was one of the guys like him and Hoover that were behind the scenes, like running the country. Like they were so deep, and his brother was also very high up in a lot of political circles. And I think it was Alan Dulles got with Cuban refugees. They trained Oswald to be a patsy, to always be the patsy, to set up this backstory. Because, Oswald was there, but Oswald didn't fire all the shots.
No.
And I believe that Oswald really was a patsy.
Yeah.
And when
100%.
he went to the Texas Theater, they said lots of times people do that when they're looking for their handler.
Yeah.
There's like, hey, if anything goes down, meet me here. And he really thought, because why else would he go into a crowded theater? You
just shot the president.
Yeah, you shot the president. You go into a movie theater. Where you're going to be trapped. I think he was thinking like, shit's hit the fan. I need to get with my handler, and I need to figure out what the next step is. And they're like, no, dude, we set you up from day one to fall for this.
And I need to come with better prepared information, and maybe I will if we do the conspiracy theory one.
Oh yeah,
we'll still talk there was like a dinner a couple nights before, and like LBJ was there. It happened at one of the hunts, like Lamar Hunt's like brother or uncle. Like it happened at his house. Like JFK was there. I think Alan Dulles was mentioned that was there, and like I think it was all kind of planned out and given a go that night.
Yeah.
And
I don't know so much about. I don't think LBJ had as much into it as they think, but I think he really wanted to be president, and what they wanted was to escalate war in Vietnam, whereas JFK was already talking about de-escalating everything and withdrawing troops, and they knew that if they got LBJ in office, that he would take the route that they wanted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think as soon as he took office, that's really when you saw the escalation of Vietnam take place, because JFK didn't want any of that. He really preached peace, and he was about to reach peace with, I don't know if it was Gorbachev. No. I don't remember who the supreme leader of the Soviet Union was at the time, but they were actually like beginning to like warm relations with the Soviet Unions, and they were just America at the time was so anti-communist and so anti-Soviet that they were willing to. I think they conspired to kill a president.
Yeah,
I think it was high up men and like very secretive agencies that recruited these people and got away with murder on the highest degree. All right, my next one was the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, this is a good one.
The Teamsters Union leader, known for his involvement in organized crime, disappeared in Oakland County, Michigan on July 30th, 1975, and was declared legally dead in 82. The identity of his killers and the location of his body are ongoing mysteries. Police and forensic anthropologists have searched a number of sites in Detroit and Oakland County to no avail. One popular theory is that Hoffa's body was buried underneath Giant Stadium in New Jersey.
Yep.
However, this theory has been debunked. On August 20th, 25th, 26th of 2021, FBI agents visited the former landfill in New Jersey and conducted the site survey. The survey is a follow-up of a deathbed confession by a landfill worker claiming that people had charged he and his father with burying Hoffa's body in a steel barrel under the dump in 1975. The agents apparently did not find the steel barrel. However, the evidentiary value was discovered during the search. Okay, skip all that. Anyways, here's a good one. The identity of the killer is also unclear. Before his death in 2006, Richard the Iceman Kuklinski, a hitman, claimed that he killed Hoffa and dumped his body in a scrapyard.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? That guy kind of bullshit a lot. He had an HBO special where he was one of those guys that just liked to make shit up.
Yeah, like to spout. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't remember his name now. That weird guy that was claimed from Texas that claimed he killed like 300 people. Not Otis. Otis was his partner. God damn it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we don't know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa.
All right, I don't know, third one.
Third one.
The Sodder children disappearance. Do you know anything about this?
I don't think so.
SODDE.
I'd probably ring a bell, though, once you start talking about it.
On Christmas Eve, 1945, a fire destroyed the Sodder residence in Fayetteville, West Virginia.
Yeah.
At the time, it was occupied by George Sodder, his wife Jenny, and 9 of their 10 children. During the fire, George, Jenny, and 4 of the 9 children escaped. The bodies of the other 5 children have never been found. The surviving Sodder family believed for the rest of their lives that the 5 missing children survived. Sodders never rebuilt the house, instead converting the site into a memorial garden to the lost children.
And they said that they never found bones. They're like,
bones.
They got hot enough that it burned all the bodies. And they're like, yeah, that doesn't happen. Like, it would have to be so hot, sustain that heat for so long to burn the bones that. And there was another thing too that, like, didn't they try to call the fire department, or he had some kind of, they had issues getting there, and then there was something about like his truck wouldn't start. I don't know. There's all these weird circumstances that they made it seem like maybe the kids were kidnapped, right? Wasn't that what the family thought?
Yeah. So he was actually born. George was actually born Giorgio Sadu in Sardinia, Italy, and so people think there was like a mob tie to it, that he, he was involved with the mafia, and yeah, they thought that they'd been disappeared and taken care of at another site. So There's more we could read on it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was like anti-Mussolini, and these people were like
Mm-hmm.
very pro-Mussolini, and he was outspoken about it.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah. All right, I got one. It's the Boston art heist.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to mysteries in the art world, most cases involve stolen paintings, and while a majority of cases have been solved, there's one that has never been brought to justice. The heist in the Boston at Isabella Stewart Garden Museum. On October 18th, 1990, 2 art thieves disguised as police officers came into the building at night, handcuffed the security guards, and stole $500 million worth of paintings, including works by Rembrandt and Johannes Vermeer. There have been many crazy theories over the last 30 years, from mobsters and gangsters to the Irish Republican Army. So far, the mystery remains unsolved, but the museum hasn't given up hope. They've offered a $10 million reward for anyone who recovers these lost pieces of art. And the art place never, the art gallery never replaced. Obviously, they didn't replace it, but they never put any other pieces up. So if you go there, all the pieces that got stolen, that wall is just an empty space now.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. I mean, $500 million worth of art, dude. That's crazy. And it was such a simple thing. I think they did it around St. Patrick. Or no, was it St. Patrick's Day? What time? Yeah, it was around March 18th because they knew like everyone in the boss was going to be shit-faced drunk.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a fight going on maybe. Or no, that was another, that was Lufthansa. That's what they did in Lufthansa. It was like a Thrill in Manila was going on. They knew the world would be watching when they did this heist. But yeah, they framed it around St. Patrick's, knowing everyone's gonna be shit faced in Boston.
Smart.
It's really smart. Yeah, I think it was just like 2 fucking local, criminals that just had the biggest night of their lives.
Yep.
I don't think it was like organized crime or IRA.
How do you offload that?
Black
How do you
market.
cash in?
You probably wait a decade. They probably didn't get that money. Maybe their kids got it, but no one's going to talk. Those Irish neighborhoods like that in Boston, they'll take that shit to the grave.
Yeah,
they'll never recover that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying like nobody's going to talk. Somebody's got a Rembrandt in their house up in their basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So my last one is, and I always butcher this name, Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
So, those of you who don't know, it's an event where 9 Soviet hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains between February 1st and 2nd, 1959, under uncertain circumstances. The experienced trekking group from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by Igor Dyatlov, had established a camp on the eastern slopes of Kolotsiashki in the Russian SFSR of the Soviet Union. Overnight, something caused them to cut their way out of their tent and flee the campsite while inadequately dressed for the heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures. After the bodies were discovered, an investigation by Soviet authorities determined that 6 of them had died from hypothermia, while 3 of them had been killed by physical trauma. 1 victim had major skull damage, 2 had severe chest trauma, and another had a small crack in its skull. 4 of the bodies were found lying in running water in a creek, and 3 of those 4 had damaged soft tissue of the head and face. 2 of the bodies had missing eyes, and 1 had a missing tongue, and 1 had missing eyebrows. The investigation concluded that, quote, a compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward to account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, an avalanche, catabactic winds, infrasound-induced panic, military involvement, or some combination of these factors.
Yeah, I don't see how your eyes get ripped out, and that's a natural death. But I've heard like near hypothermia, like you can lose your mind and do all these things. But for all 9 of them to just take off, because they had tents and clothing, but they just like up and just took off.
And I
like
think
something was chasing
them.
them.
I think like the last stages of hypothermia, like you feel like you're on fire.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but
I don't know, man. I think something was out there. Like something got them.
I think it was.
That might be the best one, because it's like that's so fucking creepy when you hear that story. Like, what causes 9 people other than just like advanced hypothermia and like your brain just like loses it?
Yeah,
but that's like 9 people simultaneously going insane.
Yeah, so here are some common explanations. One's an avalanche.
No.
So in 2020, Andrei Kirkyov, deputy head of the Urals Federal District, announced an avalanche to be the official cause of death for the group in 59. Later, independent computer simulation and analysis by Swiss researchers also suggest the avalanche as the cause. Let's see what else. Infrasound. So another hypothesis popularized in 2013 is that wind going around the mountain created a Kármán vortex street, which can produce infrasound capable of inducing panic attacks. And infrasound is low frequency sound below the lower limit of human audibility.
That makes some sense.
So another one is military tests. In one speculation, the campsite fell within the path of a Soviet parachute mine exercise. This theory alleges that the hikers, woken by loud explosions, fled the tent in a shoeless panic and found themselves unable to return for their supplies.
That I can understand too, because the Soviet Union was so vast, but they did so much testing out there, and wasn't it Serbia or Siberia?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that land is just barren. So if they were going to do some kind of new testing or some kind of weird shit, that's where it would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they tested their all their nukes.
Yep. So yeah, that one's just so fucking weird.
Yeah, I'll say that one might be my favorite. That one's just so fucking weird, like you said.
And I've got some honorable mentions. Jack the Ripper. You kind of don't know who that guy was.
Have you heard the theory that he came to America and it was H.H. Holmes?
Ooh, I did not.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then we touched on it last week, and it could even go into our last episode, and it could even stretch into the conspiracy theory one. But John Bonet.
Yeah,
it's
such a
how?
weird story.
Why? What happened?
The Necronomipod did like a 4-part on that.
Yeah,
so
good.
I would suggest anyone who would like to learn more about that and not listen to us dummies should check that one out. All right, well, I got a few more, man. I like talking about this shit. It's what really happened to D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
Something very mysterious happened on November 24th, 1971. A man named D.B. Cooper boarded a Northwest Airlines flight from Portland to Seattle, only to hijack it shortly after, claiming that his suitcase contained a bomb. He released all 36 passengers in Seattle and demanded $200,000 as well as parachutes from the authorities. He then told the pilots to fly to Mexico while staying very low to the ground. And when the rear door unlocked, the strange man then jumped out of the plane in the middle of nowhere, and he was never heard from or seen again. No one knows if he made it out alive, but a boy in Portland found about $5,800 in a sand pit that matched the serial numbers of the missing cash. So, and Without a Paddle, that's a good movie that like tied in where
that's
Burt
great.
Reynolds play it.
We all kind of it's just crazy. I mean,
such a cool story.
Hijack a plane and then it seems so simple. Hijack a plane and then parachute off of it.
Do you know hijacking planes was like a huge problem, like in the late 60s and early 70s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people were hijacking to get to all these communist countries, and their mode of doing it would be to hijack planes.
Yep.
It was a huge issue. Let's see. I had a couple more. This one's real quick. It's the disappearance of Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
During an attempt to make a circumnavigational flight around the globe in 1937, Earhart disappeared over the Central Pacific Ocean near Howland Island after giving her last radio transmission. Although the official version states Earhart ran out of fuel and crashed at sea, numerous speculation has ranged from captured by Japanese forces to living out the rest of her days as a CIA spy. But I think she landed in like a Japanese occupied island, and they just took her prisoner, and she eventually died. Let's see. 2 more. This is the Arkansas bird deaths. It's a story of on New Year's Eve in 2010, 5,000 blackbirds slammed into windows, telephone poles, and trees and died instantly in Beebe, Arkansas. People tried to come up with reasons as to why it happened and decided that the New Year's fireworks must have made the birds go crazy. Only the year after that, 500 birds died again on New Year's. No fireworks, and the fireworks had been banned. Why were these birds dying on New Year's? There have been many theories about some weird omens having to do with the Mayan calendar, but no one really knows.
Can I piggyback off that?
Of course.
When one I read doing research, there's a bridge apparently where like over 50 or 60 dogs have like jumped to their death.
Oh my God. Dog suicide?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, and they can't explain it. And that one fucked me up because, like, it's not a secret. I like dogs more than people. Most people.
Depends on the dog, but yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, and why dogs? How? So, like, something's drawing these dogs to this bridge, and they're fucking just jumping to their death.
It's like dog sirens out there.
Dude, what the fuck?
Where's that at? That's pretty
if
fucking weird.
If you'll fucking talk, I can.
Yeah, I'll give my last one. It's the mystery of the Mary Celeste. On December 5th, 1872, the British ship, fuck if I know that word, pulled up alongside the Mary Celeste and found it abandoned and adrift about 400 miles east of Azores. A lifeboat was missing, but there was no damage to the vessel or sign of a struggle. The 10 passengers and crew aboard the vessel were never seen again. And what happened on board the ship has been a mystery ever since. Many theories have been put forward. One suggests that a leak from the ship's cargo alcohol may have prompted the crew to abandon the ship because of fears they would catch fire and blow up. Another theory is that a water spout might have threatened the vessel, but to this day, the mystery has never been solved and likely never will be. So it was a perfectly good boat that is one of those big bitches too, that like would explore for a month. Bitches. Well, you know what I mean? Like they would load it with like 6 months of supplies and go and fight a new trade route or something. And you only had so many of those in your King's fleet, and they just completely abandoned it and were never seen or heard from again.
There's just so many like. Okay. So it's called Overtoun Bridge, Overtoun Bridge, and it is in Scotland. Damn. It was completed in 1895. Since the 1950s, numerous reports of dogs either falling or jumping from the bridge have been reported, with incidents often resulting in serious injury or death upon landing on some rocks, on the rocks 50 feet below. The bridge has been dubbed Dog Suicide Bridge. Various explanations for these deaths have been proposed, ranging from natural accidents to paranormal activity. It looks like even some humans. In 94, paranoid schizophrenic Kevin Moy threw his 2-week-old son to his death from the bridge because he believed that his son was an incarnation of the devil due to a birthmark. He said he chose a location due to association with dark spirits going back to the Druidic days.
God damn, that's some dark.
So something's going on. Something's going on with that fucking
like a
bridge.
portal to hell down there,
dude. Following the killing, Moy attempted to commit suicide, was caught and placed in a mental health hospital. Some people think there's supernatural activity around the bridge and Overton House, which could be alluring dogs to their deaths because animals are sensitive to the paranormal.
I was gonna say that should be an episode of whatever ghost hunters or whatever that investigate that shit, because that's wild. Okay, just because I don't want to end it on doggies' deaths, I had the last two was Stonehenge. Built between 3100 and 1600 BC. I got the numbers real quick. They're 13 feet high, 7 feet wide, and they weigh 25 tons each.
Yeah.
How the fuck do humans do that?
Well, it's just like the pyramids.
Well, I was going to say in the pyramids. I've said pyramids, ... aliens.
Yeah, like these are like...
That's wild.
And they're like perfectly cut.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Cut granite stones that weigh tens of tons each.
And they're like laser perfect.
Yeah. The way they fit, there's not a... You couldn't fit like a postcard through there, They're perfectly cut.
Yeah. It's just that's...
No. Aliens came down. They showed them what's up. They gave them some advanced shit. Just like aliens talked to Dwight Eisenhower, which led us to have all types of weaponry that help us, be this world power.
Okay, before we Bernie, keep it down over there. Before we move on from like conspiracy theories and mysteries and all that, I didn't know about this guy. Popped up. You ever heard of Robert William Fisher?
Yes, I have.
All right, so I hadn't. So he's a fugitive. He's wanted for allegedly killing his family and blowing up the house in which they lived in Scottsdale. In
allegedly, he did it. They just got to find him first.
So on April 10th, 2001, the family's home exploded. Inside, Fisher's wife and 2 children were found dead. Their throats had been slit, and Mary had been shot in the back of her head. Robert Fisher, along with Mary's car, went missing. The police named him as the only suspect in the killings. On April 20th, Mary's car was found in a forest near Young, Arizona. Robert Fisher's ultimate fate is unknown. On June 29, 2002, he's named by the FBI as the 475th fugitive to be placed on its 10 most wanted list. On November 3rd, 2021, Fisher was removed from that most wanted fugitives list. Despite his removal from the top 10 list, Fisher remains a wanted fugitive.
Dude, shout out for that guy for getting off the list like that. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna try something easier.
Yep.
That's a hard task.
It's nuts, and there's theories around it, and I don't want to go too far into it because
depending on how old he was at the time, I guess he's probably only in his 60s or 70s. Like he could still.
He was born in 61.
He's younger than my dad.
Yeah, he was born in 61. Living. So yeah, he's
still
around.
Alive.
He's around.
Well, that's how they got John List. Similar story. He killed like his mom, his wife, and 2 or 3 kids. He was the one that like cut his face out of all the family photos, and he set the thermostat real down low, and he canceled like all subscriptions and called the school and was like, "Hey, we're going to be gone for this amount of time." And it took about a month before somebody actually went to the house and then found out that they were all dead. But at that point, he was gone. He parked his car at an airport to throw him off, then got on a bus, and he was remarried and living his best life before somebody was like, they aired an episode on America's Most Wanted, and this lady was like, that looks a lot like whatever, Matt Edwards, and she's like, they called it in.
Easy now.
And the only way they were able to identify him was through his military records, like fingerprints and stuff. And even during his trial, he was like, no, it's not me. But they had him before DNA. They had him with fingerprints. But yeah, it's a very similar story. Like, what's that called? Filicide? When you kill the whole family?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That's probably one of the
worst. Or familicide or something like that.
Yeah, there's different ways. Like if a mom kills her kids, or if a dad, or it's a family annihilator, someone takes out the whole family in the family.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, way to end it on a positive note.
All right. What do we got next? Just
sports, I think.
Sports.
I feel like we're burning through this thing because this is our ninth
attempt.
Yeah,
I think we have to because it's like fucking 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Let me just check now that I don't want to jinx ourselves. Okay, we're still recording. All right. So, schedule release. And I love the NFL. Like, I love how they can just continue to stay relevant no matter what time of year it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now all these teams are dropping, like, their schedule release videos, and they're making a whole production out of it.
They're the best at PR.
Yeah.
Like they stay relevant 12 months of the year.
Yeah. All right, so we touched on a few things earlier. Opening first game with Tom Brady. We're at Cleveland, and then our home openers at noon. Which that's just I don't know if that's ever happened in
the Jerry Jones
era. Maybe in '89, maybe early on, but let's go week by week.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll have to tell me who we're playing because I don't have that in front of me. I do have what my prediction is and who I think the L's will come from.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be pretty similar on this.
Okay, gotcha. Week 1, September 8th at Cleveland, 325. I got that as a win.
I got that as a win. I like your comment you made about
Zeke is going to be busy.
Well, no, about Tyler Guyton week 1 against Myles Garrett.
Well, and Zeke will be busy that day because he'll get like 2 carries, but he's going to be on every fucking passing down.
Yeah.
Because say what you want, he is great in pass pro. Like,
he is, and I never said he wasn't. It's just he wasn't a $15 million a year back.
No, absolutely.
And he's not going to find a seam and bust one for 25 yards. But yeah, pass protection, short yardage, and I don't know what numbers he got, but was it? I think it was maybe 3 with incentives or something like that, like a 1 year.
It's not much.
It's a very manageable. Which I don't know, man. I wish we still would have drafted a guy, but when they make those runs on those players, like it seemed like 6 running backs were gone in 20 picks in the 3rd or 4th round, and once they're all gone, it's like, all right, well let's change directions and let's take this cornerback or something. So I'm glad they didn't reach. They could have maybe traded up, but they know they needed holes to fill. So I'm okay with that.
I'm not mad at the draft.
I'm not either. Man, I can't wait for Cooper Beebe to be in the Ring of Honor. That guy's going to be good.
He is going to be good. Yeah, and, whatever. Enough about Zeke. So I've got that as a dub.
Yep.
So I got that as a W. Week 2, the aforementioned home opener, New Orleans. Noon game, Derek Carr rolling in here. I've got that as a W2.
I got that as well. You think David Carr is starting week 18?
No. I think it's Spencer Rattler. And I also think Rattler will be the best quarterback of this draft.
Yep, I think so.
In 5 years. Don't believe the Caleb Williams hype. All right, so I've got them at 2-0. Let me just mark that on my end. W. Okay, week 3. We are home at Baltimore, 325.
Home at Baltimore?
Or sorry, home against Baltimore.
That's my first L.
That is my first L as well. But I can also see a scenario where they're 1-2 after 3 weeks. I could see them losing at Cleveland.
I could too if Deshaun Watson is not committing atrocious acts against women and he's healthy. You forget he's still pretty good at quarterback. He's just, a shitty person.
Yeah, I could see a scenario where they're 3-0, but I ultimately I got them. So far they're 2-1.
Yeah, I think the most likely is 2-1.
All right, week 4 at the Giants, and this will be a Thursday game, Prime Video, which.
That's an easy win. Have you seen their new alternate jerseys they put
People are shitting on them like, why do they have khaki? I'm like, because they're fucking replicating a fucking uniform from 100 years ago or however long it is. But
somebody put up next to a Pepsi can and they look like a can of Pepsi. So that's all I see now.
And people are shitting on the Wolverine, the Michigan kind of helmet design. I don't know what you call that thing on the front of their helmet, but I think that was a pretty popular template back in those days. Like
you said, if it's honoring 100 years ago, that was probably a very cool look.
That's what I'm saying. Ago. I think that was pretty popular across many teams. All right, week 5, we're at Pittsburgh, 7:20 Sunday Night Football.
Russell Wilson starting that game?
I think so.
It's cooking hot dogs. That's a win.
Fucking
cooking glizzies.
Steelers country. Let's ride.
Yeah. Dude, I like how the Broncos were like, we're going to eat. How much money was it? It was like tens of millions, right?
Yeah.
Dead cat. They're like, just
I think it's like 40 million. Like, fuck it. Get out of here.
Yeah. I think it was like 40 or 50. And they're like, we just don't want you here anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to pay you so much money just to fuck off right now.
We're straight up not having a good time with you.
Yeah. We're going to draft Bo Nix. We think he's going to be better than you.
Week 6, Detroit.
I had that as an L.
I've got that as an L as well. I think it's going to be a revenge game for them.
This is a tough 3 weeks, though.
Yeah, I like Dan Campbell. I like what he's doing. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. Goff
got paid.
He got paid, and again, that's just another nail in the coffin for Dak Prescott not being here.
Just more money.
Yeah, it's just going to be more money.
You're just watching these people make more money by refusing to just make a deal right now.
Yeah. Yep. So that's just, to me, he's not going to be here, and I think that's a smart football move.
Oh, you're talking about him after this year?
Yeah, after this year.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No, I think
watching his.
Do you want to pay him $50 million?
Minimum, it'd be 50.
Yeah. Do you want to pay that? I don't.
I don't because if we were rebuilding,
but Jerry's going to give it because Jerry is not going to rebuild, and while he's alive, he's just not.
And that's what fucking sucks for us. Like, the Mavericks were the same way. The Mavericks would be like, look, we're going to be the 4th, 5th, 6th seed. We're going to make the playoffs. Because they always say, well, once the playoffs start, it's a whole new season. But if you don't have the quarterback or the basketball, you don't have the top 10 player in the world, it's hard to, it's hard to get over that hump. And when the Mavericks finally were like, fuck it, we're going to suck for a year. They got Luka. And now look at it. He's made 2 Western Finals since he's been here.
Yep. So week 7 is a bye. So I got us 4-2 at the bye.
Yeah.
But, again, I could easily see us 3-3 at the bye or even 2-4 at the bye. I mean, crazy shit happens. So week 8, Sunday Night Football at the 49ers.
Great game. I had it as a loss, though.
I've got it as a win because I think at some point Dak has to win there, and I think this is the time.
Well, one thing that would change my mind that I didn't know looking at the schedule that was coming after a bye. Isn't McCarthy pretty fucking good following a bye week?
Yeah.
So the fact that you're telling me that's after a bye week, that could change it, but when I wrote this down, I had us losing to San Francisco. Okay. So that Pittsburgh, Detroit, San Francisco run, even with the bye wedged in, that's a brutal month.
Yeah.
Luckily, you do get the bye week to help.
Yep. So week 9, we're at Atlanta, a noon game.
That's a win.
That's a win. So I don't know where I'm going to put it, but they're all every season. There's a fucking turd game. Like
Trap
they'll
game.
just come in and fucking lay a fucking turd.
Yeah.
And they'll shit their pants. I wanted to give it here, but I think Atlanta is so bad, and I don't think they're going to be good.
Well, I'll wait. But I was going to say, my trap game, I'll just say it's going to be a Washington game.
Yeah.
At one point in the year. I think we're going to lose to I think we'll lose 2 divisional games this year. So does that put us at 4-2? I think we're going to lose to Philly once, and I think we'll lose to Washington once.
Okay. Week 10, speaking of Philly. Week 10, Philadelphia, 325.
But where is it?
Home.
See, that's a win.
We'll
lose on the road.
I've got us winning there as well.
Yeah, I think we'll split it, and we'll lose that on the road, which is understandable. They're a good team.
All right,
they just suck.
Week 11, Monday night. You Houston.
That's a good game. That's a good Monday night game.
It's a good game.
According to my paper, I had that as a win, but that's a good fucking game.
You
had that as a loss?
I'm giving them an L here.
That's where we differ. Yeah, I figured. See,
that's an L. All right. So we come off of that and play a noon game at Washington.
Now, this is a stretch of football, man. Other than that Philly game, these last games that Atlanta game we're talking about here, this is a tough stretch of football.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me again, was this home or away?
This is at Washington.
Okay, see, I'll take that as the loss.
So it's a short week, and you get a noon game.
I'll take that as the loss.
Okay.
We're going to lose. We'll lose that second divisional game here.
I've got that. I've got us winning it. Week 13, home against the Giants, 3:30.
That's a win. Get the fuck out of here, Giants. It's a dub. They still got the most Super Bowls this century of any team in our division, but they suck.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Monday night football, week 14, home against Cincinnati.
Joe Burrow's hurt. That's a win.
I guess a W with Burrow. All right. This is my third game. This is the one game where we come out and we just shit ourselves. Week 15 at Carolina, noon game.
Damn, you think we lose to Carolina?
I think we lay just an absolute turd.
Jordan Brooks going to make Jerry regret not trading up for him, go for like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think Bryce Young.
That's a bold prediction, man.
He's going to take a step. So week 16, Sunday Night Football, home to the Buccaneers.
That's a win.
It's a dub. Baker's going to try really hard, but it's a dub.
I like Baker.
So do I. Week 17, at Philly. I've got this as a loss.
At Philly, yeah, that's the loss. That's the...
And then to finish off the year, we got home against the Commanders.
You almost did it.
I almost did.
You almost said the R word.
I almost did. And that they haven't. They're leaving it open to flex it maybe.
Say again. Was that home or away?
Home.
Okay, that's a win.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I told you I had them at 12.
We're such fucking homers, dude. I picked. We both went 12 and 5.
But hey, Kavanaugh had them at 12 and 5 too.
See, that's a lot to talk post draft because I feel like before the draft they were like, look at these holes we got to fill. Like we got so much we have to do, and that just shows, man. These guys' front office is pretty fucking good once Jerry lets other people do their job.
And brought us at them at 11 wins, so we're not like crazy here. Yeah. You know,
12 wins to me is in the hunt, if not winning the division.
Yeah, we should win the division.
I think we could, and we would be the first team in 20-something years to go back-to-back division.
Yeah.
I love the stat that so it hasn't happened in over 20 years. The Eagles started 10-1 and lost the fucking division. They went 1-5 in the regular season to finish that year out.
But they didn't get beat by Jordan Love in the playoffs.
No, they got by Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Big dog. I'm so lucky I got that right. I was 50-50 on that. We almost had a news break right there. We didn't do news stories.
Huh?
We didn't do any news, did we?
Because I didn't really have anything.
Well, there's a new rib restaurant.
Yeah.
And
do you know anything? Do you know anything about this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef?
I know Drake's a groomer.
Yeah. Well, we knew that. He was hanging out with Millie Bobby Brown. She was like 14.
Yeah, he definitely fucking groomed that girl.
Weird. Do you want to know our preseason opponents?
Sure.
So Sunday, August 11th. So not, we're talking 3 months here. Los Angeles, the Rams. Sorry, we got both LA teams. The Rams, Vegas, and then the Chargers.
West Coast trip.
Yeah,
that makes sense because we're going to be in Oxnard, right?
Yeah, and it's usually those opponents anyway.
Yeah, like I feel like we always play either the Rams or the Raiders. Is a very popular. God damn, we're watching Flavortown over here, and this guy's just tearing into a sandwich.
That's my boy, Gaffy Eddie.
Gaffy Eddie.
I fucking love that.
That's your guy. My guy's Charles Barkley.
Fucking love, dude.
Those are goals for guests on the show right there.
Gaffy Eddie.
I'll contact Charles Barkley. You get Guy.
I don't know why.
I feel like Guy might be on the show sometime.
I don't know why he gets a bad rap. All he does is just he hypes up small businesses.
I saw somebody post that, and they're like, he helps out so many people.
Yeah.
He gives everyone a shot. He has like this group where I don't know if it's disabled people or people in recovery.
It's
he gives them a lot of jobs.
Well, he goes and he donates pretzel carts to like special needs kids in schools, and they can fundraise.
And I think he does a lot for like school food programs too.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. Like this guy is like a saint, and people give him shit because he has hair and he wears like cargo shorts.
Yeah, fuck it. And
he's like the nicest guy. Like this is what humanity should be like.
Although I will say, when I was in Vegas in 2018, I went to one of those restaurants that wasn't very good.
That's because he wasn't there. He was out saving the world.
It was not very good at all.
Well,
shout out Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Shout out Ryan.
Ryan
he's
not going to come on the show, dude.
Ryan knows. Well, he should take constructive criticism well. Right?
He does. He's a mensch.
He's a mensch. All right. Let's do what we've been watching and listening to and reading.
Hold up. I got a couple. I got a little sports here. So currently, last time I checked, the Rangers were in the bottom of the 13th, so we're going to assume we won. But when I wrote this down, the game was still going on. We were currently 23-23. We're second place, and we're a game and a half behind the Seattle. But of course, we're fucking defending World Series champions over here. The Stars last night advanced to the Western Finals. 7th time in team history and the 3rd time since the 2019-2020 season. The Mavericks won tonight, putting them in the Western Conference Finals.
You're wearing that button out, aren't you?
Okay, but this is a great time to use it.
Hey.
I mean, what a great time to be a Dallas, Arlington sports fan. So that's their 6th time in the Western Conference Finals. I feel like we're going to be up against Denver just because that look of Jokic's face when they got trounced in Game 6. And it's like somebody posted a picture of his face, and it's like this man's about to drop 20 or 50, 20 and 15. You know, this is the face of a man who's about to just eat.
Yep.
But Game 7, dude, Jokic versus Ant, which we agree, Anthony Edwards is the son of Michael Jordan.
Sure, yeah. I have no doubt.
Look at the picture comparison and tell me that we're not telling the truth right now. And I heard Michael Jordan was like, this last year in the league, he's like,
he's just running through ass.
Yeah, he said I was sleeping with 2 or 3 women a day when we'd go to these different cities for road trips. So Anthony Edwards was born like in 2003, like that season, and he grew up without a dad.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not. Okay, I've been holding these hiccups in as best I could all day. Now you want to
you hold in hiccups all day?
Well, I mean, you can since I've been on here, I try to suppress them. I'm not trying to just yell.
What a terrible feeling.
No, when I feel like sometimes I'm going to die when I hiccup. Like I get that from my dad. My dad, you'll hear him across the room, be like, "Dad, are you still breathing over there?" He'll just let out
Fighting a hiccup.
I get that, and I get like acid reflux from my mom. It fucking sucks.
Thanks, guys.
Sucks. Yeah, thanks for these shitty genes. But I got what I've been. I'll just tell you real quick. We barely started Bodkin on Netflix. You haven't seen that?
Nope.
It's has Will Forte, who's one of my. That was MacGruber. So I was like, I always love Will Forte. To me, he's one of the funniest guys, and he's actually a pretty good actor when he wants to be. He was in that movie Nebraska where he was like serious. It's about these people. He's a true crime broadcaster, and he goes to this little village in Ireland where apparently like 20 years ago these 3 people went missing on. It was either Halloween or All Hallows Night or around that time, but it's one of those like dark miniseries, like dark comedy. I told Claire it reminds me a lot of White Lotus. If you've seen that on HBO, I feel like this is Netflix attempt at a mimic show of White Lotus, which is, character driven, story driven, but also like dark at times, but like dark comedy. Mm-hmm. And it just shows you like, that there's like this underbelly of this little Irish town. I think the town's called Bodkin. That's why they call it that. But, there's like all these dark characters that, eventually are going to get, at first it's kind of cheerful and, oh, look at the natural beauty and look how cool this place is. But later on it's like, bodies start piling up, or I'm just assuming because we haven't finished it yet, but it's going to get darker, and it's still going to be funny, but it's an interesting show so far. And the only thing I watched last week, I got home early and Claire I don't know what she was doing with the kids, but she was like, oh, I think they went to like Chick-fil-A for my niece got student of the month, which we found out later on that Ellie also got student of the month. Shout out to my sweet little daughter. But I was like, oh, they're going to go, and I don't want to, so I'm just going to stay home, and I watched Smokey and the Bandit. I got home, and Claire was like, you're such an idiot. Like, you skipped out on family time to watch Smokey and the Bandit. And I was like, I have no regrets right now. That's such a good movie. That's all I've been watching, though.
Is it?
Yeah. I got listening to. You want me to run through that?
Just fucking ram it.
All right. Okay. Well, that's what she said. Let's listened to 4 books since we've last got on this little podcast that we do, and that was Holly by Stephen King. It's his character Holly Gibney, who this is like the 7th book she's been in now, and Stephen King said like that's his favorite character of all time.
Yeah.
And she owns that little she's a PI that, you know, she inherited from Bill Hodges after he died of pancreatic cancer. Spoiler alert. And it's an interesting book. So she gets a phone call from this lady, you know, frantically looking for her daughter. Well, turns out there's this elderly couple that one man is, I forgot, they're both professors. The wife is like an English professor, and the other guy does something in the biology or something like that. But he's convinced that cannibalism holds all these key things that, like, you know, he's getting Alzheimer's, and he thinks that consuming brains, you know, like the amino acids in the brain can like fire up your brain and have all these great regenerative abilities, and they justify cannibalism, but they
theory floats.
Yeah. So they would set it up. They were really clever. They would set it up like, you know, we're this poor old couple. We got this van with a lift ramp with a wheelchair, and
is it down by the river?
It kind of was by. It's like this abandoned part of town. Shit. And the old woman would be like, "Oh, help me! My wheelchair stopped working. My motor's wheelchair." And they would have their victim picked out already. They know the path they would take. They would never. The victim would always be either like on a bike or a skateboard or walking, so there would be no car to get rid of. And they would approach them, and while they were helping the old lady out, the husband would inject them with whatever it was in the neck, knock them out. They would take them back to their cellar, which they had set up as like a, you know,
torture chamber,
basically a torture chamber with like its own little cell in there, and they would feed them nothing but liver because that would regenerate, like get their liver functioning better and make them whatever, you know, like better for consumption, not just for taste, but for the benefits of what this cannibal thing. They, then they would get rid of the body through a wood chipper. And I don't want to give all away, but yeah, it was these old people that were like 80 years old that were just evil as fuck, and they were eating these people for you know, benefits of what they thought for their diet. Another one was called The Most Dangerous Man in America. It's Timothy Leary, Richard Nixon, and the Hunt for the Fugitive King of LSD. And it really just focuses on after Timothy Leary was, so he got busted with like 2 joints. And this was after Nixon declared him the most dangerous man in the world. You know, the whole war on drugs, so countercultural revolution was happening. And they knew that LSD was opening so many minds, and that they had to put a stop to it because, you know, they got to suppress that. They don't want all these open-minded people out here expressing all these views. So Nixon made him the most dangerous, labeled him the most dangerous man, made him like the top priority, you know, to capture. Well, Leary got busted with like just 2 roaches in his car, but he got the worst sentence, and this was when Reagan was governor of California. He got like 10 years in prison. Jesus. And while he only served like 7 months, and the Weather Underground, which was like a far left, basically like terrorist organization, they declared war on the United States government, which was really stupid of them because they were just, you know, these activist hippies that they finally came to the conclusion was, you know, we can't make this revolution by being nonviolent. It's going to have to be a violent movement. So they started making bombs, and they blew up all this shit.
Like, we can't be pussies here.
Yeah, basically. And they were like, we have to get radical. Well, one of the things they did was Leary was able to, accumulate $25,000 in the Weather Underground, broke him out of prison. From there, they went to like Oregon, and then he was in Algeria. He ended up going to like Beirut for a while. He was in Switzerland forever, but he was going from place to place trying to evade, you know, extradition all the while. So it was really a book about the years like late 69, early 70, up until like 73 when, you know, this all got resolved. But it was like Nixon was losing his mind, and that's when whole Watergate was happening, and his presidency was collapsing around him. But he was so dead set on capturing Leary that he really thought that he was the most dangerous man in America. So it was just interesting because there's like some wild fucking stories, you know. It's like Leary was on LSD every day. He was doing some crazy shit. Oh, there was this character when he was in Nigeria. He was the leader of the Black Panther Party because the Black Panther Party helped him out for a while in Nigeria. His name was Eldridge Cleaver. He was a fucking maniac, you know, piece of shit who justified rape. But one cool thing that he did, he released this book called like Soul on Fire, something like that, or Soul on Ice. One of the two. But anyways, he had this really cool distinction of at the same time, he was on the New York Times bestseller list and the FBI's most wanted list at the same time.
Wow.
That's a pretty cool little stat right there. The last 2 were the history of terrorism, the future of terrorism, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the alt-right. And really it just focuses more on Al-Qaeda and ISIS, like, you know, international terrorism as opposed to domestic. But I don't know, it's interesting, and I listened to all this glum shit that Claire never likes to hear me talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Last one was called "My Heart Is a Chainsaw," and that was a work of nonfiction that it was about this lady or this high school girl who was like a Native American, and she was really into slasher films, and she was convinced that her city was like getting its own little slasher, and that I don't know. Our buddy Nick, hopeful listener, suggested it to me, and I checked it out, and it was good. He was a really good writer. Of course, I can't remember his name now, but it was an interesting book, and it was a different concept. Usually, I'm listening to all this glum shit about how democracy's going to fail, and autocracy's going to take over, and far right's creeping in with fascism. But it was. I took a break from all that, just listened to a nice little murder mystery.
Yeah, there you go. And so you listen to all this cool shit, and I'm just like, I finished Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime.
Really good. That was the last season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I need to watch that.
It was really good. So I couldn't remember if where I'd stopped, so I just started at season 1 and just finished everything.
The first 2 were really good. The second one was when Venezuela, right?
Yeah,
I remember really liking that one.
Yeah, 3 and 4 were good. 3 and 4
4 total?
Yeah, 4 total. Yeah.
See, I think I might have watched 3. 3 was Russian?
Yes.
See, I don't know what 4 is then.
Yeah, 4 was Asian. Asian. It was good though. It was good. So yeah, I finished that, and then I rewatched, and I told you about it, Shoresy on Hulu.
Yeah, man. Apparently everyone likes that, but me. Even my brother-in-law.
Have you tried it?
I have not.
It's really good.
I've heard the same about heroin, though. I don't know.
I think that's a stretch, but we'll allow it.
That's what she said.
Yeah, so season 3 is coming out, I think, next week. So and the seasons are 6 episodes long. So 2 seasons, it was easy. They're like 24 minutes long, 28 minutes.
That's
long.
That's really the way to do it. That's. I think that was part of the popularity of Baby Reindeer. Because when I first started, I was like, oh, these are like 34 minutes.
Did you finish it?
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah.
The final scene was really good.
Yeah.
The way it came full circle, that was really cool.
Yep. So yeah, rewatched Shoresy, and that kind of fits in. I was telling you, like, the Stars playoff run, and I'm watching all the hockey. Like,
he's a real puckhead over here.
All the hockey. Like, I'm watching.
That's cool.
No, so it was good. And then I finally finished that Joe Pickett series about the game warden in Wyoming. It was like 24 books.
Jeez.
I finally finished. I finished the one that he wrote this year, so got to wait till 2025 for another one.
Oh, it's still going.
Yeah, where they left off. Yeah, he's going to write another one because
why not?
Yeah,
guy's making bank.
Yeah. And then I finished, or I read the latest installment of a series that I thought was dead. It was the original book. It's called 1 Second After, and it's about an EMP attack on the United States. I think I mentioned it at some point.
Well, I guess we kind of share some of these, like our library together.
Yeah. And
I was reading about that. That looks pretty fucking good. But I think it was good. 5 seconds later. So is that like
5 years later?
Oh, is it called 5 years?
5 years later. So it's the 4th book, and it's 5 years after what they call the day, which is when the EMP hit.
How do you find all these?
I don't know. I'll Google search like a topic, like apocalyptic survival or something, and that one, the original one, 1 Second After, I found in Half Price Books.
Oh, cool.
And I just read the little synopsis. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
See, I don't think I would get into like the Joe Pickett. I'm not going to get down for all 25, but on that, I was like, I think I could do that. And then there was another one that you read that had multiple. That was basically like after like an overthrow of our country, and I don't know. It was another series like that, which only had a few. This was months ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have screenshotted them. I know I should have screenshotted them so I could have gone back and I wanted to listen to them.
Yeah. So. This one was really good. I don't know if there's gonna be another one. And like the first one came out, I don't know, 2011, and then there was like another one in like 2015, and then another one in like 2019, and then this one was in 2023. And I didn't even realize, because I thought it was over, but it was really good. It was the dude's a good writer, and the original book, 1 Second After, it was brought up on the House of the Senate or the Congress is like, hey, like this could be like a real thing. Like that book got brought up as like a case study of like, hey, this is kind of what.
That is what would happen.
Yeah, and like working around technology, it's like I don't think people realize like how like everything is just bounced on like just the thinnest razor's edge, and like it could come all down super quick. And
well, when I get dark, talking to shit about Claire, I was like, that's how like the next, like when the next war happens, like the first thing they're gonna do is attack the infrastructure.
Yeah,
they're gonna attack Houston and take out all that power or energy capital of the world, basically. And Houston's gonna be gone,
and a huge port.
And in a port, and all the major port cities. I was like, that's what you got to think. That's what you got to do. You got to take out, electronics, communication, ports for supplies. I'm like, shouldn't like me go too into it. But
they don't even have to do that.
Happen.
It could be an EMP that they detonate thousands of feet up, and we're fucked.
Yeah,
everything is fucked.
If we go into darkness, that's when the whole like rule of, have you heard the theory about like 9 missed meals away from chaos?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's what would happen, man. Neighbor would turn on neighbor.
Yeah.
Once the food source gets depleted and we don't know when anything's coming back, shit's going to get real quick.
Yeah. And like, I don't know if you're going to go back and read it, but one of the kind of like book long themes and kind of storylines that go on in that first book is he's got a daughter that's diabetic, and what about these people that are on life-saving, medications? All that shit's gone.
Yeah.
You want to kill millions of people without firing a shot, an EMP will do it. It'll do it.
Well, I was going to say, the one good thing, other than what you're saying, like they could do it thousands of, feet up in the sky, is luckily America is surrounded by two oceans, and we have 2 friendly neighbors. Like, we're in a good, like if you're in Europe is such a crazy map. It's almost like looking at it from the United States, it's like if Georgia wanted to attack Florida, like it could happen easily.
Right.
If Germany wanted to invade Poland again, which that's happened several times.
Right.
It's literally just crossing an invisible border. It's like states against states, which we're lucky to be separated by two oceans. But now with shit like that, like you said, like man, that's why we have these strict no-fly zones. And who is it? What's their names? The people who control the air traffic controllers. Like those people got to be on point. If there's an unauthorized ship coming or plane, they really got to stay on top of that. And that's why if you get in restricted airspace, they'll shoot you down real quick because they don't know what you're going to do.
I think that might have happened to 370. That was one of the.
Who did it? You think?
I don't know. North Korea
or Chinese? Just because where they found it.
Yeah.
Not to accuse anybody.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they said they searched those seas, which. I don't know, man. It's either that or a fucking black hole opened up and swallowed them up.
Did you hear that there's some, like, I forget what it's called. It's a dude's name, and it's a U.S.-owned, like, base on a small island out there, and, like, they parked it there.
How do you land it, though? Has it got a landing strip?
Yeah, it's got a landing
strip. It's got to
strip.
be a hell of a long island.
Yeah, it's got a landing strip. I could...
For what reason, though?
Don't know.
Just to confuse the shit out of everybody?
Yeah, hold on, let me... fire,
I'm not saying it's not possible. What I'm saying is why.
Okay, Diego Garcia. Conspiracy theorists have suggested that MH370 was either captured by the United States and then flown to the United States military base on the atoll of Diego Garcia in the British Indian Ocean Territory, or that the plane landed at the base directly after being instructed to travel there. The latter theory was raised at a White House daily briefing on March 18th, whereupon Press Secretary Jay Carney responded, "I'll rule that one out." Underpinning Diego Garcia theory were several elements, one of which was the co-pilot's mobile phone contact and the plane's westward turn, both of which were consistent with the flight path toward the island. So,
it could happen.
Yeah. So,
okay, one last thing. We actually got some live fan feedback here.
Oh, yeah?
Listener Alex wants to shout out Nico for his team building for this Mavs team.
Nico Harrison?
Yeah. Just the fact that we got PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford
at the
trade deadline, like the same day. Look how much difference that turned this team around.
And I think that's what...
And he wasn't working with much.
Yeah.
Sorry, but...
No, there wasn't...
We didn't have the draft picks or the collateral, but we made that shit happen.
And I think they made the point of the opposite for OKC is that they didn't go out and kind of solidify that young roster.
Yeah, so, if you bring in like that one 10-year veteran dog, something like that would make a huge difference.
Yeah.
But then again, to their flip side, they were the 1 seed, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But I think they did need like that veteran leadership to come in, but I don't know who they could have gotten.
The playoffs is a different.
I'm thrilled that they lost, and I'm glad that it was SGA's like hand that that was their downfall for fouling PJ Washington.
But he's good. Those threes. That boy good.
We kept saying to the game like, I don't like that guy, and his commercial's the worst, but he's pretty fucking good.
He's gonna be good for a while.
He is gonna be. I mean, I think he's actually older than Luka, but not by much. But yeah, the NBA is in good hands, man. There's some great talent out here right now.
All right, is that it?
I think so.
Hey, we made it, and we didn't crash this time.
9 times a charm, baby.
Dude, 9th time is a charm.
I'm not exaggerating. We sat here for like 2 hours trying to figure this shit out.
I had to fucking run an update. I uninstalled the program, reinstalled it. I did everything my little IT brain could think of. It finally worked.
Hacker man on the case.
Hacker man. I don't know about that. All right, let's get out of here, man. It's almost midnight. I'm getting old. For Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
We're out.